If I was physically there, I would have said distinguished dais, but I would say distinguished screen, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor, great privilege to be a part of uh, Ahmedabad Design Week. I thank Anju Sharma for making me a part of this. It's absolutely fascinating from what I heard. You know, the way you have brought the Team India together to fulfill a dream which our Prime Minister always gives us. When he says Swachh Bharat, the entire country sort of goes after that mission. And similarly, he has given us this new mantra of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And looking at the toy industry, looking at what toys can do in social transformation, I would toys have a bigger role in transformation, that of the mind, that of the society, that of the nation. And the way you have brought together the artisans, academicians, toy makers, storytellers, experts in diverse fields, including innovation, I think is absolutely phenomenal. So my congratulations. Number two is that, I've been closely associated with Gujarat in many, many ways, including the innovation movement, thanks to Anju Sharma. And uh, this state ranks high in number of things, and now formally also in innovation. So design and innovation, and is something where we should be leading. There is no doubt about that. You know, our Honorable Prime Minister highlighted that it is time to go vocal about toys made in India. And if you look at the toy industry in India, it just has 0.5% of global share. If you look at China, they have 80% of the global share. So we must ask ourselves why China is 80% and we are 0.5%. And we have to do introspection and why we can't be that. And my simple answer is that yes, we can be. Because if we want, we can be. So it's an issue of aspirations, keeping those aspirations high. And our Prime Minister always raises our aspirations, and that leads to sort of a performance. The second is the, the way we are growing. I think what is important is not where we are, but what is the rate of growth. And if you look at the rate of growth, the global average growth is around 5%, but India is 10 to 15%. So as long as the rate of growth continues, and we are quite capable of doubling it up, we can not only catch up but go ahead. I think that's the second point I'd like to make. The third point is let's since we talk about design, why toy design? Design thinking is of course very important, and there are sort of great design experts here, iconic experts. So I sort of measure my words when I say this. But I go back to Rabindranath Tagore, who had said toys should be such that they bring out the childhood of a child and also his or her creativity. If you really look at toys, the toy building, developing, you know, the psychomotor skills among children at an early age, very, very important indeed. Helps in building life skills, problem solving skills. That's why if you see the national education policy, you will find a lot of attention has been given to the impact of toys on different aspects of children's life. And while they're learning, it is learning by doing, learning by playing, learning by creating. So there are newer ways of sort of doing, and toys play a very, very important role. Uh, what should be India's agenda? Yes, of course, going forward, just like we say make in India, we have to say, I always say make in India, but invent in India. I would say make in India, design in India, and invent in India. That has to be very clear because if we don't do that, we will not remain sustainable. There are examples after examples. Secondly, the global scene is changing now. You look at China. People are trying to go not completely China-less, but less of China, as you can quite clearly see. I mean, if you look at our industries, for example, we call ourselves the pharmacy of the world, but 70% of APIs, that is active pharmaceutical ingredients, we import from China. So suddenly we can't go China-less. We have to go less China. But why that 70%? In furniture, it is 55%. And toys, it is 80%. I don't understand why that should be the case. I can understand in electronic components and so on and so forth. So I think the crucial point I want to make is that with a combination of a national initiative and policy, we can certainly make it. You know, I sort of, I'm not an expert either in toys or in design, but I know something about innovation, so I keep on coming back to innovation. So last year, this was the book I published, Leapfrogging to Pole Vaulting, along with my co-author Ravi Pandit. What was the basic idea there? Not last year, year before last. And in 2019, this got the Best Business Book of the Year award. What is the basic idea? Leapfrogging to pole vaulting. Why does a frog leap? Because he's afraid of his predators. How much does he jump? A few feet. Okay? In a reactive way. I said, why should we be doing that? We should be pole vaulting. The size of the pole determines the size of our aspiration. And India has demonstrated in many, many ways. We have just sort of pole vaulted in a number of ways. I mean, we are 155th in mobile data transmission, for example, or usage. From 155th, we didn't leapfrog 200. We pole vaulted to number one. And that is possible in a number of ways. Can we not be doing that here? So I'm going to give a slightly different perspective on this because this is catching up, by the way. I'm not trying to sell my book, but the idea behind the book. The idea behind the book, I was very pleased on 25th May last year. You can see it on the YouTube, General Bipin Rawat, our Chief of Defense Staff. He had read that book and he said, this is what India should be basically doing. But when you pole vault, how do you make sure that you have an assured success? How do you make sure that you don't break your bones? So if you see the third chapter, it talks about for assured success, you have an assured framework that I've given. So I was, while putting down my thoughts yesterday, I said, does it apply to toy and design? And it seems it fits in. So I'm going to project that before you as a completely fresh thought. I like to speak about something which nobody has spoken. So assured, I'm quite sure nobody had talked about. So what is assured? Assured is affordable, scalable, sustainable, user-friendly, rapid, excellent, as well as distinct, differentiated. Now let me go through each one of these. Toys, they have to be affordable. Okay, that's very, very clear. Why China 80%? Because they provide affordability. They are the cheapest, and it's very difficult to beat their cost. Now, why affordability will become critical? We talk about education plus fun, right? Now, look at coding, for example. Our children have to get into coding very early. And there are toys which help you coding, but how expensive they are. All right. So if you make them affordable, they can sort of get sort of all over. The second thing is that the exponential technology, the way they are moving, the costs are plummeting. Okay. For example, look at sensors. In 2007 to 2014, in 7 years, the number of sensors went up by 1,000, 10 million to 10 billion. The cost came down by 1,000. The power consumption per sensor went down by 1,000. The size went down by 1,000. And you can quite clearly see the exponential part of it. And therefore, these sensors, when you become the new word, is going to be digital and, of course, physical. I would say phygital. There is going to be a combination of both. And in toys, phygital toys will be the future. There is no question about that at all. Okay. So therefore, when costs are plummeting like this, we have tremendous advantage. So that is the affordability part of it. The second is affordability comes also when there is a scalability. One of the reasons why China produces is so cheap. Their scales are absolutely massive. Okay, and we need to do that. And if we want a significant fraction of the export market, we have to ramp up our scales hugely. That will require number of policy and other. The third part is sustainable, because in sustainability there are a number of things, and one of them is of course the environmental sustainability, the kind of plastics that we use, the safety that we have. Are we creating toys which have safety hazards like choking, sharpness, moving parts, use of chemicals, etc. So looking at non-hazardous sort of materials, etc., becomes important. Then only sustainability will come. The next one is user friendliness. Now that is absolutely obvious because toys have to be bought. Who buys them? The father or mother. And who uses them? The children. So it is interesting that in this particular case, you have a dual challenge. And I think the design experts will know more about it, that the father and mother must get attracted to that. And maybe the millennials, it was mentioned a little earlier, they want to live their past experience, daddy and that and the other, etc. Maybe sort of we have to think about them as well as the children, because children are much smarter than ever before. The third part is the rapid part of it. We take too long. The mind to marketplace, ideas to impact. And what also happens is that the tests are changing so rapidly. As technology changes, technology gets integrated so rapidly. Then the next question is that of excellence, because the quality, when we say make in India for the world, as our Honorable Prime Minister says, it has to have world class quality. There is no substitute to that. And therefore, using excellent technologies like the new manufacturing technologies, adoption of new materials. If you look at, for example, 3D printing, that fortunately is spreading very rapidly now uh, across schools, as a matter of fact, and so on and so forth. And then innovations in terms of gamification plus the digital part of it, the boosting creativity. I mean, whole range of things you can bring in, cutting edge. The most important part is the last part, the distinctive part. And all of you repeatedly made mention of the Indian culture and our past and our heritage and what we can draw from that. And therefore, the novelty part of it we can bring in a number of different ways. For example, the Indian culture, Indian civilization, our history, our ethos, our national heroes, that can be built into the time. Then, similarly, encouraging national unity, encouraging cultural diversity. At the same time, the big challenges that we have, climate change, environmental, the sort of challenges that we are going to have, the the other missions that we have, and so on and so forth. So if we make them sort of distinctive, novel, and creative, you can see where you can be. So Assured is the matrix, by the way. This matrix is now very widely used. I started using it when I chaired, after the Prime Minister announced the Swachh Bharat mission. We had to do technology selection, and for drinking water and sanitation technologies. And I remember starting using that, and that has spread like wildfire across startups, this, that, and the other, etc. So I just applied my mind and said, can this Assured matrix fit in here? And you will find that if some of these elements are not fitting through, one fails. Actually, we have done case studies in this book that you can quite clearly see. Now, I understand that we are going to have this wonderful, uh, the Gujarat Stool Startup and Innovation Council is going to give financial support to the winners of toy design challenges. I think I welcome that. That is wonderful. Why don't we use this metric, Assure, while doing the selection, whether they sort of pass through such a metric? Because finally, in order that we have an assured success, we require such a framework. All right. At the end, I want to again thank you all for making me sort of a part of this wonderful journey. I wish I was there. I wish I had participated 5 years. I'm already 78. I would have felt younger as one participates in exciting endeavors like this. Uh, as I said, I'm very happy to be there with you in the beginning of this journey of this exciting week. I wish you all the best and a very happy new year because we're meeting for the first time. Thank you.
Thank you.